Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of AMC's The Walking Dead. This week we've seen Season 6, Episode 2, which was entitled JSS. And, you guys know if you watched my review for the season premiere last week, I was somewhat disappointed with it, but I hope you guys watched the video that soon followed that one, where overall I ended up actually feeling pretty good about the season premiere of the show. And I will say this week was a very, very, very good follow-up to what we got in the first episode of Season 6. This probably satisfied more people than the premiere did, to be completely honest. Mostly because of all the action and violence and stuff like that, the fans that crave all that. So this hopefully satisfied them for a little while at least. But besides that, we did have some very good character moments as well, mixed in with all that exciting action and the thrills and the blood and stuff like that, which there were plenty of. Things like people being hacked and slashed to death, just people being shot down, and then turtles being eaten. So yeah. We had quite a variety of violence in this episode, and it was, it's hard to say it was the best of the season because there's only been 2 episodes, but it would be the best of the season so far. If it actually had more of the main characters involved with it. That's my one real gripe with the episode. We didn't see any Rick, Daryl, Michonne, just people like that. Were of course dealing with oncoming herd and stuff like that, but we didn't see them on screen whatsoever in this week's episode. We were concentrating on Alexandria being attacked by the wolves suddenly. So we got a lot of focus on Morgan and Carol, Jesse, people like that, Enid and Carl. Which is good too, it's not a huge deal, but it does kind of bug me when Rick's completely gone for an episode or something like that. But unless it's like a flashback episode, like I'm hoping they give one with they do one with Morgan this season, but we'll see. But yeah, it didn't detract from the episode too much, just a minor little gripe. I wish we could have seen like just maybe a little bit back and forth of them dealing with the herd still or something like that. I don't know. But, I guess I could kind of repetitive. They keep on showing that for 2 episodes straight. But, yeah, I'm fixing my hair again. Of course, you guys know how it goes. But, overall, I did really enjoy the episode. I definitely didn't. Well, like, based on previews from last week, I expected stuff to be going down, but I didn't expect, like, non-stop action pretty much all the way through, which is really what we got. Of course, JSS refers to Enid and the flashback sequence we sort of got with her towards the beginning of the episode to sort of open it. And I actually thought it was pretty interesting. We figured it wasn't like a complete shock what we seen Enid had to go through, because we figured she had lost her parents at some point, and she somehow ended up at Alexandria. She's on her own. And that's pretty much exactly what we saw. We see her in the car, sort of like trying to get her parents' attention, and then they don't really show too much of it, but I'll let my cat out real quick. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that, but you know the drill. And I have my Walking Dead shirt on today. I don't know if you can see it that well. Season 3, prison. Anyway. So you don't really see, like, Enid's parents actually being, like, torn apart by walkers or anything like that. But the next shot, we see, like, blood all over the window. And, then a walker, sort of devouring a body and stuff like that. So, yeah, we get the message. And with the way they edited it, I think it did work pretty well. And of course, a lot of us should probably recognize the shot of Enid looking out the car window with the blood smeared on it, from the Season 6 trailer. So, there that is. Then we see her sort of traveling on her own. And, she keeps on writing JSS everywhere. I'm still not exactly sure what JSS refers to specifically. Excuse me, don't, call me stupid, whatever, but I don't think we ever got a direct confirmation on what that means. Maybe we're not supposed to know yet, or maybe I just missed something, who knows. But if I did, leave a comment below and tell me. Don't, get all immature and stuff like that. But, she's writing JSS everywhere. on her hand on the window, and then that's when she comes across the turtle, and we see her eating the turtle, which was fun. And then you see her sort of arriving out the gates to Alexandria, hearing like talking and laughter and stuff like that, sort of hesitating, but then deciding to go in anyway. And we know back when they first arrived at Alexandria in season 5, she had, apparently had gotten there like about a couple or a few weeks before our group did, so that kind of lines that all up. So yeah, I thought that did work pretty well. It wasn't like anything we didn't expect her to have gone through, but it did help us kind of, I don't know if I want to say care more about the character, because, we still haven't seen much from her yet, but I did think this did help to sort of, sort of like flesh out the character a bit, even though we kind of figured what happened to her. Just seeing it on screen for the most part, kind of makes it more of a thing, if you know what I mean by that. I'm not really explaining it the right way. Yeah, so I thought that did work pretty well, and that's pretty much all the plot for this week, because like I said, the rest of it involves the Alexandria being attacked by the wolves, which was very good too. And it sort of like starts out of nowhere. Carol just looking outside. I did find the scene kind of enjoyable, where she was in the sort of like the pantry, or the just like where they have all the food and stuff. With all the other women who are probably just regular, housewife type of girls and stuff like that, and she's just putting on a smile and stuff like that, which is still kind of, comical to see. And she's sort of looking out the window, and she just sees the woman she was speaking to earlier just all of a sudden get slashed, and then, so yeah, they probably hopped the walls or found like some kind of opening in the, in between it or something. I'm not exactly sure, but another moment I did like from Enid later on is when she ended up trying to help, Carl get guard Judith, and she just sort of pointed out what we all think, and what the rest of the group probably thinks, that Alexandria is such a big place. It's kind of be very difficult to defend, because there's could be like any little thing all around the area, and it's such a large space to cover, so there's bound to be something. And that's the risk with having such a big place like that. Yes, it's really a good defense for walkers, but if any human threat tries to get in there, it's not going to be very easy for you to, keep an eye on every part of it. And also, we had that moment from like some of the previous we've seen for season 6 before, like Carl seeing Enid hug Ron and stuff like that. Of course, we have a little mini love triangle with that. But Enid ends up leaving at the end of the episode, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. I also really loved Jessie in this episode. I think she was her big moment in this episode. It might have been one of the main highlights for me of this whole thing. And that was when, of course, she was trying to leave to go find Ron, but then Sam, the Cookie Monster, as Trev refers to him, was just begging his mommy not to leave him and stuff like that. Then she hears someone come into the house, and she hides a Sam. I think Sam's her younger son's name, right? Yeah. Okay. They hide in a closet. They have like a little latch on it, a little lock type of thing. I forget exactly what it's called. Again, don't be immature. Anyway, so she has a gun. She had been supposedly learning a little bit from Rosita. I'm not sure how much of that training actually took place, but her moment comes when she goes to look herself. When she hears Ron's voice, tells him not to come in the house. Then she sees this woman, and they sort of like a little tussle. It looks like Jessie gets knocked out by her, and then the girl goes to pick up a gun, but then Jessie actually manages to get back up, and then she has like this little, of course she gives people haircuts and stuff. She has those little mini scissors, and then she just like stabs the lady in the chest over and over, really, really bloody. So I thought that was a pretty good moment for the Jessie character. And I think so far Alexandra Breckenridge is doing a pretty good job with it. I'm not sure her and Rick are going to go long term. But I'd like to see the character around for a while. I think she could kind of fill the, not the void, but, be another like strong female character potentially if she keeps on developing like this if they let her survive long enough. I don't know, we'll have to see about that. But, you know, I know that whole herd thing's going to be happening at some point this season, so I'm not sure if she'll be lucky enough to make it out of there. But at this point, I do find her to be a likable character. You know, I think, like I said, Breckenridge does a pretty good job with it. So that was one of my favorite moments of the episode. And, of course, a big moment was... not a big moment, but like another big focus was, of course, on Morgan and Carol. I already talked about what some of the things Carol is getting up to. You know, of course, she kills some of the wolves, and then, you know, she takes like one of the things they're wearing, you know, and she writes a W on her forehead so she can kind of blend in. And you know, Morgan's taking out some guys. You know, he eventually shows up to stop the horn from going off, which is, you know, the horn from the end of last week's episode, I think. And you know, then, you know, of course, I think Spencer is Deanna's son. You know, he's trying to shoot, but then, you know, that's when the truck comes in and stuff like that, and he ends up discarding, you know, Deanna and stuff like that. Morgan goes in, you know, he knocks out a few of the wolves, and also another moment was when he's seen, like, the wolf with the shorter hair, like the blonde, dirty blonde type of hair, and, you know, he ends up telling him to leave, and, you know, then before the guy goes, he picks up a gun and runs off. So now, one of the wolves definitely does have a gun, so that's going to be worse when he comes back. So, yeah, Morgan, you're not doing the group any favors. I still find it interesting, like, how he, like, has this newfound morality about him and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm worried about where this is all going to lead everyone. It's probably not going to turn out for the best with this world. But Morgan did go through some development himself in this episode. Of course, a lot of it was like about the parallel between him and Carol. You know, how Carol tried to like chain him up and then, you know, sort of like walk through everyone and ignore people that were being attacked and stuff like that to blend in and survive and kill only who they had to and stuff like that. But, you know, Morgan sort of goes off and wants to help people, and the big one for Morgan in this episode came when he was confronted by another wolf member that he had previously knocked out at the end of season 5. And, you know, it's the one with like the longer brown hair and stuff. I don't know if he had a specific name or anything. But, you know, the guy sort of recognizes that Morgan's sort of holding back and, you know, that he won't actually, you know, kill him. So the guy comes at him with a knife. And Morgan says, "I'm sorry." Then he takes like huge, you know, swing at the guy's head. And I think that killed him. You know, I don't think we got like exact confirmation on that, but I'm guessing that was a big enough blow to sort of kill a guy, especially in the head, and, you know, such a big strike like that. And then I also did like the shot of Morgan and Carol sort of coming across each other again at the end, towards the end of the episode. You know, just sort of not really, you know, saying anything to each other, just sort of looking at each other and just sort of like going on their separate paths, which of course is pretty symbolic. Also, this is like backtracking a lot, but you guys know how my reviews are. Gabriel also had a moment. He was saved by Morgan in the middle of all the action, but also, you know, it seems like he's trying to redeem himself. You know, he's trying to get some weapons training from Carl and stuff like that. So we'll see where that all leads, but I honestly don't care if he gets killed or not. I'd be fine if he just got killed. I'd actually choose for him to get killed instead of living, but that's just me. Unless he really does something redeemable, but I don't know about that one. A lot of people hate him. You know, also we had a little bit of focus with Eugene and Tara, you know, being with that new nurse, you know, doctor, you know, who, you know, she hadn't actually become a surgeon yet, but she took Pete's place after he was killed. You know, her name was Denise, or like a chubbier, slightly heavier set girl with glasses. And, you know, then a girl named Holly is brought in, who I guess is someone from the comics, but apparently she's not going to be on the show very much because she died. But Eugene and Tara sort of helped encourage Denise to try and help her anyway. So that was, you know, that was decent. You know, I like seeing Tara and stuff, and, you know, I thought it was sort of, you know, it's ironic that Eugene is giving her advice to motivate her and stuff, because once in a while Eugene does have a moment where he does sort of, you know, like step up and stuff like that, but it wasn't really too much in this episode. He chose to stay behind. We also see Rosita and Spencer shoot down a few, and yeah. So that's all I have to say about this episode. A very good episode, very good follow-up to the premiere. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'll be watching the 3rd episode next Sunday with my brother in Arkansas, So the review will be a bit delayed, but when I do get back, I'll probably try to do a video talking about it, but that'll probably be until like later that week. But yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this video, add me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, Movie Pilot, and look around SwallowDead.com. If I missed anything, feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to discuss with you guys. Catch you guys next time, and peace. Also check out my new Walking Dead tribute.